Hello, everybody out there. This is Travis with the Broken Battery Pop Culture Podcast, brought to you, go figure, by Broken Battery Entertainment.
Sponsoring ourselves
every week, except for last week. We want to thank everybody out there. If you get a moment, please like and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Follow us on all major social media sites that feature podcasting, you know, like Google Apps, Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify. You can find us on YouTube. You can see us on Facebook. Leave a comment. Drop a line. Say hi.
I tend to like the Facebook ones because of the video.
Yeah, I like the video. I like our editing department works tirelessly to get that video going.
Yes.
And by editing department, I mean me.
Yes.
So yeah, you're gonna join us. Thanks for joining us today, guys. We are gonna continue with our horror themed route. We're going down the route, so down the rabbit hole, so to speak, into the cavern of darkness, where all the creatures
taking the blue pill.
Taking the red pill.
Which one? Are you sure?
Oh, mind blown. Now, speaking of which, did you see the trailer for the next Matrix?
It looks all right.
It looks... I mean, I like Keanu Reeves. I mean, I can't name a single movie that he's done that I didn't like.
Well, you know, I'm just going to tell you right now, it just makes me want to play... I got to get it for the original Xbox. I got to go out and I got to get Enter the Matrix.
Oh, that's a good game.
Oh, man. That game is... I was just like, oh, I got to play that again.
Spotlight. Enter the Matrix for the original Xbox.
Yep.
Definitely check it out, guys. Yep. Very good. It's not horror themed, but it's a good spotlight. So just check it out.
Yeah, very good. Matrix related, and we started talking about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing about it is, I thought you can probably get that off the Xbox store. You can probably get that.
I don't think it's been ported.
Oh, that's bullshit. Hey, Wachowski sisters, right?
Well, now it's a brother and a sister.
Oh, they went back?
Huh?
They went back? I thought they both got sex changes.
Huh?
I thought they both got sex changes.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't. I don't know. I don't follow them that closely. Well, I'm just gonna call you Wachowskis. Why don't you get on that shit, man? We need some.
Didn't even know that.
No. News flash.
I thought that I saw that it was like a guy's name and a woman's name, and I was like,
was it Pat or Chris?
It might have been. I don't know. I just saw the thing, and I was like, oh, maybe the sister's doing it. No, I didn't even.
Oh, I don't know.
That's how much I care.
Yeah, this is
just make a good movie. I don't give a shit what you do.
Exactly. I love those directors that get out in front of it. They're kind of like, yeah, I made the movie. I mean, it's not about me. I made this movie. I just wanted to make it good.
Yeah.
You're not like some people like John Carpenter has to say John Carpenter's The Thing or John Carpenter's Vampires, which leads us into our topic for today. And it's not about John Carpenter because I want to do a whole episode about that, and I want to that's going to be a longer one. This is going to be a shorter episode, but we're going to talk about vampires. Specifically, good vampire movies. Now, to me,
these are all these are in our opinion.
Yes, our opinion.
We'll probably disagree on a couple of these.
Yes, I agree, Joe. I agree that we could disagree.
Oh, wow!
But
that's like a compromise.
Weird. Hey, everybody, listening. That's what we call compromise and cooperation. If you're listening. But anyway, vampires. More specifically, we're going to do modern vampires because, I mean, obviously Dracula's an amazing movie, and the amount of versions of that character's story shows how good it is.
Yes.
So we're not talking about, medieval anything like that, or turn of the century London, or anything like that. Well, actually, turn of the last century London. We're talking about modern takes on vampires. And I'm going to tell you one thing that's not going to be on this list is Twilight. Because to me...
Dude, I was totally going to say that.
Yeah, I bet you were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
To me, the vampire is like, obviously, the alpha predator, Like, it just...
I think that vampires should sparkle in the sunlight.
And why is that, Joe?
I just think it's just like a really good thing that they should do.
Yes, and they should...
I don't think that they should burst into flames when they go into the sun. I think that they should sparkle with glitter.
And, and stay in high school for 30 years.
Oh, yeah. I mean, why not?
For 50 years. You don't seem creepy at all.
Everybody wants to go back to high school.
Everybody... Yeah, okay. awful. But no, we're gonna just talk about specific vampire movies that we think you should check out, and just really good. I think capture the whole, in my mind, in my opinion, the whole spirit of what the Legend of the Vampire is all about. And I'll let you get going with one of your favorites, Joe.
One of my favorites?
Yeah.
We can't use Dracula?
No, modern.
Modern?
Modern.
Well, I want to use modern Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Well, that's set in, like, the 19th century.
Huh?
No, I'm talking about modern.
Oh, I thought you were just talking, like, our modern times. I wasn't going to say, like, Nosferatu.
No, Nosferatu. Although that dude, they got that movie, they got, like, the weirdest looking guy to play that character.
It worked out perfectly.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to start off with 30 Days a Night.
Oh, 30 Days a Night. Such a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You know, and I heard about the comic book before it came out, or the movie came out, and I'm like, oh, what's it about? And I started reading the comic back. I'm like, oh, my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great idea for a vampire movie.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, the thing is...
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers are heavy in this episode.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it in the last, like, 10 years, it's too late.
We're crossing that bridge, folks.
Yeah.
So 30 Days a Night, it's set in Barrow, Alaska, and there is a period up there because where the position of that town is in Alaska, they get a solid month of darkness. So you got one of the biggest weaknesses for a vampire just taken off the fucking table.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they'd be easy to hunt if daytime they had to run inside. I'd burn the fucking house down. Like, I had to screw that steak shit. I'm setting the house on fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing movie, super gory. Josh Hartnett probably puts in one of the best performances I ever seen.
Yeah, it was good from start to finish.
And I liked what he did with their teeth in that one because they were all jagged. They didn't just have two fangs, right?
Right.
They look jagged, and when they bit into somebody, they bit into them.
Right.
Like it was like a fucking piranha.
Yeah, it was like a piranha or like a blender coming at you.
It's like a NutriBullet.
Yeah. I did like that. Supernatural kind of used the same type of vampire where all their teeth were sharp as well.
Yeah,
I kind of why just stop at the two?
Yeah,
but the two, but those teeth with the eye, what are they? The eye teeth?
Yeah, the
is
eye
what
teeth.
It is. Yeah, I mean those were more pronounced in the 30 Days a Night.
They were,
so I mean they still kept with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I give that one definitely 2 thumbs up.
Dose 2.5. This one I'm going to make mention of both the original and the remake. It's Fright Night.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this movie. It seemed campy at times, and at no point did I ever think Marcy Darcy is hot. But, I mean, she was serviceable as the girlfriend of the main character, Charlie. And, what was it, Peter Cushing?
Huh?
With Peter Cushing,
No, Roddy McDowall.
Roddy McDowall, yes. I always get those two confused.
Peter Cushing was, like, dead well before that movie. Yeah. Oh, no, maybe not. No, it was 85, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he could have still been around.
And Roddy McDowall, I thought it was funny. It had equal parts of funny and stuff like that, and, like, the whole Evil Ed transformation. Like, it had good practical effects, okay? And
right.
And, like, the guy Jerry Dandridge, and I'm like, hey, that vampire's name's Jerry. I
even thought that, like, in the remake with Colin Farrell.
He did a great job.
Yeah, I thought but his name was Jerry too. So
yeah, hey guy. And every time he'd always say it to people, he'd be like, hey guy.
Right.
And, like, he was, like, flaunting the fact that he had that really hot chick over. He was, like, looking at Charlie like this. You know, it was before Charlie knew he was a vampire. And, like, and I felt bad for McLovin because he took on the role of Evil Ed for that one too. Yeah, that one was good, and, like, they used more traditional vampire stuff in the remake because they couldn't let him in. Oh yeah, no, they had to invite Jerry in the original one too. Yep. Like, I never really knew that until, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You didn't know that you had to invite a vampire in?
Yes, I didn't know that. Well, I watched Lost Boys, and which is another one on the list, Joe. Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, you don't invite a vampire in, you silly boy. It renders you powerless. And I'm like, but you could still go in the house, though.
Huh?
He could still go in the house. Because,
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, because all those guys that attacked him, all the kids, the Lost Boys attacked him. They broke into their house just fine.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, I think the detection methods like don't work in that book, in that story. Mm-hmm. They like some of these like pick and choose certain like things that happen with vampires. One thing I just want to say before we continue: vampires aren't good; they're bad.
Well, I mean, sometimes you find the vampire with the heart of gold.
The heart of gold, yeah. You just got to eat you. That's it. I only kill criminals. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. That's cool.
Right.
But
But then if you leave one alive, then now we have a vampire with double bloodlust.
But yeah. So Fright Night, great. I love the fact that he burned their house down because he wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't invite him in. Colin Farrell did that. He goes, yeah, you don't need a house if it's burning down. He like ripped out the gas line and set it on fire. I thought that was amazing.
Yes.
Then we mentioned Lost Boys.
Yep.
That was the first vampire movie I think I ever saw.
Really?
Yes. And the part when they're in the tree scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, when they're like looking at that beach party.
Oh, and then they flash the lights and they're all like inside the lights and the wind's blowing on them. And
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That was sweet.
Like, when the hell was it Guns N' Roses playing or was it Aerosmith?
I don't think I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we don't own the rights or trademark to Guns N' Roses or Aerosmith, so yeah, don't sue us.
I think you can say their name.
I don't know. But yeah, Lost Boys, amazing movie.
Yep.
And it had the best punchline out of any movie ever. At the very end, when the fucking grandpa shows up and he kills Mag, like he drives his car through the front and then the stake kills the head vampire.
Yeah.
And he just walks past them and they're all like, "Oh, Dad!" And like they thought he was oblivious. He goes, "Yeah, I like Santa Carla, except for all the goddamn vampires."
Yeah. Yeah. One of the grandpa's best things is he's all like, "Yeah, we want to go to town." And he gets into the car and he starts the car and he backs it up. He pulls forward a little bit and backs up. He's like, "That's about as close to town as I like to get."
And he was always going on dates.
Yes.
Yes. Good for him.
Yeah, he was getting out there.
I love the fact that he knew the whole time.
Yes.
Next, this is one you haven't seen, Joe, and this is actually a lot of people haven't seen this movie, and it's criminal that they haven't. It's called Near Dark.
Yes.
And it's about a guy that gets bitten and turned into a vampire by this little tribe of vampires that drive around like gypsies. They're like it's set in Texas, and it's got Lance Henriksen in it. It's got Bill Paxton. It's got the dude for Adrian. Guy from Heroes. He was Peter's brother. He was the congressman from Heroes.
Oh, right.
It's Adrian something. Good movie.
Adrian something.
Yeah, I do. I gotta look it up. I believe the name is Adrian Pasdar.
Oh. Okay.
I'm probably butchering the pronunciation.
Yeah, I would say most likely.
But great movie. It just shows how brutal vampires can be, and Bill Paxton puts on, everything Bill Paxton does. Like in all of his movies, whether he's the used car salesman from True Lies or he's, Hicks. No, Hudson. It was Hudson. Hicks was the other one in Aliens. Mm-hmm. The guy owns, and he's like his most sadistic in this movie, and it's really, really good. So definitely worth a watch.
I got one for you, and this became a very drawn-out franchise, but I really enjoyed the original Underworld.
Yeah.
With Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was really well done with like the mythology and then the twist with the modern day and
absolutely.
Keeping the vampires under control and
don't get too many numbers.
Right.
You don't turn anybody unless you get permission.
Right. Yeah. No. I thought it was a solid story.
It is. It was. It is.
And I believe that there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 that I really liked.
Yeah, I liked the first 2. I did not care for the third.
Is that the one with the Rise of the Lycans? That was the one. It was set in the past.
No.
That one was
Rise
good.
of the Lycans was the 4th one.
I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this combined, I like, we're not talking about werewolves, but I like vampires. I like werewolves.
Yeah, I like werewolves too.
Yeah, not as much. I don't like werewolves as much as I like vampires, but
well, I mean, yeah,
it combined two mythological creatures, which I tend to enjoy. So
yeah, it did, but it started the trend of putting a werewolf in every vampire movie.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
Don't get, if it's,
Twilight was amazing. And that
I'm not even going to entertain that, Joe.
Twilight was amazing because it had vampires and werewolves.
Oh,
and they were sexy.
Abs. Beebs.
I've actually seen all of those movies now.
I am sorry.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I have not seen a single one, and I refuse.
Right. Well,
Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying I completely enjoy them, but they're watchable.
Sure.
They're stupid.
So
but they're watchable. But I watch a lot of stupid shit anyway.
Oh, I know. We've done many a bad movie night.
Yes.
And you're in Casa de Coogan.
Right. But But like I said, I give the original Underworld and the first two a total thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely. And like I mentioned, this one already is John Carpenter's Vampires.
Yes.
Good movie. John Carpenter just needs to get over it and do a cowboy or a Western film, because this thing was heavy with it. And he's like, I'm going to throw vampires in here, and Catholic Church, and James Woods.
No, that one was great because that was the one where they were like, they were going in, they were hunting them.
Yeah, they were,
and they were like dragging them out by a wench and shit.
Yeah, dude,
that was great.
It was. He shot him with the crossbow, and it had a cable connected to it.
And then they drug him out into the sun.
And he had Bobby Elvis as one of his team members, and it was.
Yeah.
And then they were like partying with like hookers afterward.
Yeah. Well, why not?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, we raided the local liquor store for the last 3 days for this crew here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, nice. And James Woods' character, he did such a good job in that movie. John Carpenter's Vampires is yeah.
I mean, James Woods, he's like a national treasure.
He is. We appreciate you, James Woods.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he might be on. We could get him on the show now. So yeah, definitely watch Vampire, because you know what the thing was, that one head vampire, it showed how badass he was, because they went in there and cleared out that one nest in that one boarded up house at the very beginning, and then this vampire found out where their fucking hotel was, and Bobby Elvis answered the door, and he put his hand into his stomach and brought it up and cut him in half.
Yeah, no, that was sweet.
And then he just went in there and just tore them all apart.
Everybody except James Woods.
And that bald one.
That's right.
That's Steven. There's Alec. No, it is Steven.
Steven.
No, it's not Steven.
Was it the one with
Daniel Baldwin?
It's the one with a chemical dependency, right?
Yes. The fat Baldwin.
Yes.
Yeah, it is Daniel Baldwin.
Okay.
I was going to say Billy Baldwin, but I'm pretty sure Billy Baldwin hasn't worked in years.
Probably
even
not.
since then. But anyway.
Yeah,
Jack Harper's
Vampires.
Vampires.
You had to bring that up. You had to rub that salt in the wound.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm sorry. I know you celebrate this entire catalog.
I do.
More vampire movies. Okay, so this one's kind of borderline with me because I read the book.
Okay.
Interview with a Vampire. I thought it was all right.
The Anne Rice novel.
The Anne Rice novel.
I thought we were doing modern vampire movies, Travis.
It had modern part in it.
Oh, yeah, like the part where he was all like, okay, sit down and just tell me the story.
Yeah, you're right.
And then all of a sudden we go back to Victorian times.
It wasn't Victorian times, it was colonial. No, you're right. I probably can't use that one because it...
Go ahead. They're good.
Yeah, they're good. Well,
it's good.
That one was good, but then, this kind of segueing into the Vampire Lestat or Queen of the Damned, which was awful.
Yes.
The book was good. Queen of the Damned, the movie with Stuart Townsend, was awful.
Had a sweet Deftones song in it.
It did.
Yes.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Right.
I could probably... There's more vampire movies.
Oh, there's tons.
There's
tons of movies in here. There's actually movies that I'm seeing on my list in front of me right now that I didn't even know were vampire movies.
Really?
Yeah. Doctor Sleep is a vampire movie?
Doctor Sleep is not a vampire movie.
It says right here, popular vampire movies, Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep is the sequel to The Shining.
Well, apparently there are vampires in it.
No, they're... Okay, so they're using that term very, very broadly. In this, there are a bunch of psychics, like people that murder psychics and like brutally, like they're suffering to stains in them.
Okay.
So they breathe it in, as they call it, steam, and they kill these people.
It wasn't the Shinin?
It is the Shinin. They have the Shinin. They go after people with shining.
Oh, they go after the people with the Shinin, and
yes.
they take their steam.
Yes, they take their steam. That's what they call it.
Dumb.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. No, just the name that if they called it the steam. I haven't seen it yet. I plan on it.
Yeah. Kiss of the Vampire. Would you consider that a vampire movie?
Which one?
Kiss of the Vampire
with Nicolas Cage.
With Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't a vampire though. He just thought he was.
Well,
he just thought, we'll allow it because that was. Yeah, I really like that movie because he was such a nutball in that.
Like the part where he's like belittling the maid and he just all the things I can't remember what his name is and he's just carrying on and he keeps saying your name. Did you do this? Did you? And then he becomes like progressively more insane because he got bit by a bat, got rabies, and went insane.
Yes.
And by the end of the movie, he's so insane with rabies that he actually gets a stake through the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually still works.
Yes. Okay, so here is one. It's a comedy. It's What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh.
I'm talking about the movie, and the TV show.
Yes.
The TV show is infinitely better.
Yes.
But I really like the movie too.
Yes. I love the movie. I thought it was excellent.
Yes.
From beginning to end. And then like I don't know why I didn't know that the TV series was coming, but the TV series is just
Jackie.
It just makes me laugh, like all the time. Just laugh out loud.
Yeah,
I usually watch it in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
And I've been watching it in the morning, and it literally makes me laugh out loud in my completely quiet house.
Yes, and it's what you can do. See, that's what I love about that's good parody right there. Yes. And it was like the whole Jackie Daytona episode is my all-time favorite.
Yeah, when he like leaves the house and then he becomes a bar owner that ends up being the volleyball coach.
And the fact that he was getting hunted by another vampire, Mark Hamill.
Yes.
Jim the Vampire.
Yeah, Jim.
How did you know my name? It's on your business card. Oh. I would like one human alcoholic beverage.
Throws it over his shoulder.
Charlatan. Hey, Jim the Vampire, you're fired. Fired? I don't even work for you. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, fired. Now I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check those out. It's if you haven't seen it, it's filmed documentary style.
Yeah.
And like they're doing a documentary and it's about...
It's kind of like The Office meets vampires.
Yes, it's like The Office meets vampires. It's about 3 vampires. It's technically 4 vampires if you count Colin Robinson. This is the TV show. Who's an energy vampire who just he either pisses people off or he gets them really bored and he sucks like
he takes their energy.
He takes their energy.
His eyes glow. And
yeah. He gives us this.
Yeah,
and he was in The Office. He was one of the he was in the warehouse. Yeah, he was Nate in the warehouse.
Nate, yeah.
And
it's like Nate became an energy vampire.
Right, that's what I like to think. I like to actually connect these. They're like, oh, so Nate left. He found out he was an energy vampire. He left Pennsylvania and he moved to Long Island.
Yep.
But no, it's about 4 vampires and their familiar that live in Long Island. And the vampires are so inept they don't do anything for themselves.
No, and they rely on
Guillermo.
They rely on Guillermo, and they just belittle him at every chance that they get, and he
deals with it.
He just loves them for no reason, and then he turns out that he's like a direct descendant
of Van Helsing.
Van Helsing. Yeah. Which even makes it even more hilarious.
Yeah, I loved it in the first episode because he goes, I was obsessed with Armand from Interview with the Vampire, and it showed a picture of him going like this. You can't see it. He's like posing. He's dressed up like Antonio Banderas from Interview with the Vampire. Oh man, it's great.
For sure.
And like, was it one of the vampires can't like transform unless he says bat?
Yes.
Bat.
Laszlo.
Nandor and Nadja.
Yes.
And Colin Robinson.
Yep.
So definitely check it out. Good humor. Another funny one is Dracula Dead and Loving It. But that's a period piece, so I can't really talk about it.
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen.
Well, that guy did no wrong.
Yes.
You know, it's really weird, though, is like when Leslie Nielsen, I watched Creepshow, and it was the one where he buried the people in the beach.
Yes.
Their heads. I'm like, oh my god.
Ted
Danson, yeah. And I'm like, oh, why? You're funny. I only knew him for like Airplane and like The Naked Gun and stuff at that point.
He was actually a very serious actor.
Yeah, then he decided to become unserious.
Yes, and it was excellent.
And the world is a better place for it. You are gravely missed, sir. We miss you. Geez. Let Me In. That's a good vampire movie of late.
Let Me In?
Yes, there's one about the boy that befriended the girl, and she's a vampire also. It's based off a Swedish film called Let the Right One In.
Oh.
Yes, but Let the Right One In sounds like a basketball drama. Only to me.
Let the right one in. Do the right thing.
Do the
Let
right one in. Joanna Man.
Yeah. Oh, this one's got the dude from 13 Reasons Why, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's brutal in parts, but it just shows a different nature of it. Like obviously they made the vampire sympathetic in this because it's a girl. It's a little girl. It's like, you know, like, oh, you're stuck being a little girl for all of eternity now, but you're also a brutal fucking killer.
Right.
Yeah, and how she probably doesn't have any friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something trying to eat me. I'm not going to care if the thing has friends or not. I'm good. Joe, okay, so this movie was like half and half. Like it was part gangster movie, then it turned into a vampire movie, and it wasn't a gangster, but it was like a heist movie, like on the run. It was Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah. When I went and saw this movie, I had no idea it was a vampire movie.
I didn't either.
I had no idea.
Like that chick's they stab Quentin Tarantino in the hand that he already got shot in, and blood's coming out of it, and then she turned into a fucking vampire. And I'm like, what is going on?
Right. Yeah, no, I had no idea. I was going to see this because it was Quentin Tarantino
and Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, and you know, and I was going to see it. I was like, all right, cool. I'll see something like Reservoir Dogs, and it was at first. It was totally.
Oh, dude,
it was good. It was good before they got there. You know, they kidnapped Harvey Keitel and his
Juliette Lewis
and his adopted family, and yeah, I mean, it went in. I went into this movie not realizing that it was about vampires. I was completely thrown back, and I loved it.
Yeah, I like the shattering of the expectations.
Yeah. All like the massive amounts of vampires that just kept coming, the Sex Machine. And,
so Tom Savini himself is Sex Machine.
Yes,
and his wang gun.
Yes, yeah, like you know, I was like, I'd never seen something like that before. It was great.
How did he shoot it? I still don't know how he shot it.
He probably had a button on his arm or something like that. I don't know. You know, when you take the time to make a cock gun, you probably thought of everything.
Wasn't it the black dude? Wasn't he the guy from Shaft?
Yes.
Come on, Sex Machine.
Yeah, and then the part that was great was it was like because like when they did get bit, they turned like super quick.
Oh yeah,
and they got up and they fought in their own respective ways, and it was just like I said,
it was a different take on the vampires because they explained like these vampires' bodies are kind of mushy.
Yes,
push like you're trying to push a chair like.
He said they're soft.
You're soft.
They're not like us.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a good cast and you just didn't expect it.
Right.
And it had equal parts of humor in it, too.
Yes, it was great from start to finish, and it got better. In my opinion, it got better in the middle when the vampires showed up.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, they went into the strip club.
Yeah.
tons of hot chicks dancing around, and then they all turn into fucking vampires.
That's right.
Take my money.
Yes.
So, another one, Joe. I mean, you're gonna know instantly what I'm gonna talk about right now. It was actually the first good Marvel movie.
I mean, since we're on the subject, Blade.
Blade.
Yep.
See, yeah, nobody. I knew of the Tomb of Dracula where Blade made his first appearance.
Yeah.
And
you know, what's it? Wesley Snipes is in it. He's also a vampire in What We Do in the Shadows. He's on the council.
Almost everybody that we mentioned in this showed up in What We Do in the Shadows in a specific episode. Did Kiefer make it? No, I can't make it. Tilda Swinton.
Just say if you played a vampire, you got to be on the vampire council. So
yeah,
it's excellent.
Yes, what they said. He goes, I'm not even a vampire. He could use it during WebEx because he didn't want to be around him.
Yeah.
But yeah, Blade, vampire with none of the weaknesses, but all the powers,
all the strengths, none of the weaknesses. The first one was great,
and then there was other ones.
Well, the second one I didn't mind too much. The third one, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you said you don't really like Guillermo del Toro.
Huh?
I thought you didn't like Guillermo del Toro.
I don't, but I liked. I don't know, like the soundtrack. I really dug the soundtrack to Blade 2.
Oh yeah, they had like typo negative and stuff on there.
The original Blade soundtrack was amazing. I mean, it wasn't as good. I mean, it was like the third one when it had what was it? Triple H was in it, and
Ryan Reynolds
and
he played Hannibal King, who was not actually Hannibal King. They just called him Hannibal King.
Right. They took a guy. They were like, hey, can we throw another Marvel character in?
Yeah, let's just do this.
Yeah, but yeah, the Blade franchise. It was moderately entertaining.
Very good at the beginning, serviceable at the end.
Yes.
Prison Break guy was there too.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that worked it in.
He was the original one. Yeah, you always got to
Prison Break.
We bring up Prison Break in every episode. It feels like we talk about Prison Break way more than we talk about anything else.
Well, no, it's also like Mike. You know, the other host, Mike. He always tries to mention the goods. Like he'll mention the goods in everything. So I think everybody's got that one movie. Like if they like it or hate it, like me, or TV show. Like I didn't really care for Prison Break because it was a one note show.
Yes.
But anyway,
well, they didn't. After they got out of prison, they probably shouldn't have tried to go back. I can't believe we're freaking talking about it.
You know, I don't know if you agree with this one, but I like The Strain.
The Strain, the movie, the show, The Strain.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, the thing is I didn't get to finish it. Like I watched the first 2 seasons, and when I got a subscription to a certain streaming service that I'm not going to name, it was on there, and I binged it, and I was like, oh, this was a good ending to this.
I didn't see.
I couldn't stand Goodspeed's son, the main character. His son was a little asshole.
Right.
You don't know, Dad. And like, no, you just saw something come out of her mouth that looked like a long tongue with teeth on the end of it. Shut up, kid. You don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, those are like good examples of vampire stuff. Like and like everything added its own take to it or took a little bit away from it, but overall it was good. And you know what the common concept was?
Vampires.
Vampires, and they're primarily not good. Like except for maybe Underworld and Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Blade was different. He was the Daywalker.
He was because he still needed blood.
Yeah.
And like he went, but he took a serum too. Like, yeah. Anyway, we want to thank everybody out there. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Again, smash that like button.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Tune in next week when we talk about Prison Break.
We might mention Prison Break. The Halloween episode where they were carving pumpkins. But hey, guys, thanks for listening again. And hey, to all the Battery Pack members out there, stay scared this month and next month.
And stay off the pipe and don't forget to wipe.